Hey guys, I wanted to show you a quick preview of how you can create some animation in your graph. For this video, I am using Lydia's graph for an example. As you can see, she was almost done with her assignment. So she wanted to add snowflakes and she wanted them to move. I asked her to go ahead and graph those snowflakes. So if you focus in on one of these snowflakes, the snowflake is created by two parabolas, one going upward, one going downward, and then a vertical line. She already has enough other functions that she could use anything she wanted for the snowflakes. Well, if you want that parabola to be moving up or down, then you would have to add a number to the equation. Right now we have +3. I'm going to add another number, and instead of giving it a specific value, I am going to allow that value to change. I'm going to add a instead. Automatically, Desmos will ask you if you want to add a slider. So go ahead and click that. The slider always gets started at a value of 1, so now you can see that my parabola kind of shifted up by 1. You can change that slider value to be back to 0. And then you see that by adding this a, when a is equal to 0, nothing really changed to the snowflake. However, if you move it up or down, you will be able to create some animation. So what we have to do is make sure that all three functions are moving at the same time, or all three functions use the same parameter a. So I'll click on the second function, and where it used to be +3, I'm going to add a. Now, when I move a, my parabolas move together. But I also need that vertical line to move with them. What we have to do for the vertical line, so it looks like Lydia defined that function as x is equal to -10, and then she limited the y values. She limited the range. That means that if we add a to each side of our range, now the vertical line is going to move along with the two other functions. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to zoom back out. If we hit play, then you can see that Snowflake is moving along. There are several settings that you can change to that. You can make sure that the snowflake only moves in one direction. I wish the direction was going downward though. Instead, it only goes upward. You can also make the speed be higher. If you only want the snowflake to be moving from, let's say, 10 to 0, then you would have to change the limits of that parameter. Well, originally I had +3, so if I want to only be able to make it to 10, then the maximum value of a is 7. The minimum value of a is -3. Okay, now when we play it, it turns around right around 0 and it goes up. So now if I want to do the same for the second snowflake, I have to find the equations for the second snowflake, and I can tie them to the same slider, or I could tie them to a different slider. So this time I am actually going to tie them to a different slider, just because that way they I feel that it will add a little bit more dimension. So I added b to each of the equations, and then I'm adding b to the range, and now I can play b and a at the same time, and it certainly appears like it is snowing. If you have any questions, as usual, please send me an email.